It's the National Football League on EA Sports. We'll get a look at Joe Burrow after his last game, now across 3,000 yards for the season. It's the Bengals and the Chiefs, next on Madden Football.
On a chilly December afternoon, EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to Paul Brown Stadium in Cincinnati, Ohio. Today, we've got a Week 13 matchup for you here between the Kansas City Chiefs and the Cincinnati Bengals. Brandon Gaudin joined by Charles Davis. CD, you look at the Chiefs in this matchup. Their offense is one that doesn't rely too heavily on just one guy. They like to spread things around as best they can.
You're right about that. It's a diverse unit, and they like to run their offense by what they call game plan, meaning each and every week they study the opponent, they probe its weaknesses, and they move the ball around that way. They emphasize who's going to get it based on what they think they'll accomplish in that game. Other teams, they're a system team. They're going to run what they run no matter what. I like this style of offense. It suits them well.
The calendar has turned to December, and we're in the home stretch now as we're underway in Week 13. This one fielded at the 5. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. And the Bengals getting set for their first possession of the ball game and leading them out in his third season. Really the face of Cincinnati football, Joe Burrow.
Okay, I thought there was something to build on in last week's game by his performance. I thought he played fairly well overall. The numbers won't knock your socks off. 2 touchdown passes and an interception. The bottom line, though, they lost.
Yeah.
How does he eliminate that one interception, continue to take care of the ball, and maybe increase the number of times he puts the ball in the end zone with a receiver?
Here we go. Here we go. Turtles hunt.
And they come with a jet sweep here as Burrow just taps that forward. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. An excellent way to start the drive there, 18 yards. Just a simple tap pass, but it pays off in a big way.
And sometimes the simple stuff causes the most problems for a defense because there's a breakdown in communication there. When that receiver goes behind the line of scrimmage and it looks like he's going in motion, someone either has to go with him or he has to be passed off to another defender. Somehow they didn't get that communicated well, and it turned into a nice play.
And they'll get him down on the other side of midfield. This defense for the Chiefs, they were terrific last week in the win over the Rams.
This defense certainly has a lot to be proud of coming off of last week's game because when you only give up 14 points in a contest, you give your team a great chance to win. The best defense in the league is usually going to average giving up 18, 19 points a game. So to be under that, a terrific achievement.
The numbers for Mixon last week, pretty good as he found himself in the end zone on 2 separate occasions.
And those are the most important numbers because no matter what you pile up prior to the goal line, getting in is all that matters. Putting those numbers up on the board, and they love them when they're 6s.
One, ready?
Back to Mixon on first down. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
From the 44, Burrow, throw left side, caught by the tight end Hurst. And he'll be brought down with a first down as the tackle's made at the Chiefs' 33. The Bengals passing game finding a rhythm. They've got another first.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Burrow going to give this to Mixon. And he'll be marked down at the 26 with a gain of 7.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they will pay dividends as the game progresses.
Throwing on 2nd and 3. Burrow to the right side and complete to Hurst. And he'll be out of bounds as he gets this down about the 21 or 22. First down. Here's Burrow. A quick throw knocked away and incomplete.
Well, a momentary speed bump there with that throw partner. The defense had other ideas, and they're trying to mount a small stand before this drive reaches the end zone.
Here's a throw out wide complete to his running back right side. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11. Backed up here, tough spot, needing 11 yards to pick up the first. On 3rd down, Burrow. Pass thrown right back to Joe Mixon. And they're going to get him down well short of the first as he can only get this to about the 19. So on 4th down, off goes Burrow. On comes Evan McPherson for the Bengal field goal. McPherson's kick is good. And the Bengals are on the board first here. It's 3-0. Able to move the ball on that drive. Yes, just 3 points, but 4 first downs were in there.
Yeah, and you can look at it and feel pretty good about the whole thing and think, okay, this should continue throughout this ball game. On the flip side, if you're a defender, it's almost like, whew, we only gave up 3. They moved the ball on us pretty well.
And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line. Here comes the Kansas City offense, and in his 6th season of conducting this high-powered attack, coming off 4 straight Pro Bowls, it's Patrick Mahomes.
I like this guy, and the reason I do, he tends to stand an even keel, doesn't let too much ruffle him. He will manage the game the way it needs to be managed, take what the defense gives him, and then he can strike at times. Had a touchdown pass. Yes, he had an interception last week, but he found a way for his team to win.
Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10 at their own 16. They'll try and start this drive in the air. Oh, he's going to take a shot right away. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Now here's Mahomes. He'll find Juju Smith-Schuster. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. Nice play for Kansas City, picking up the first 18 yards that time. They'll run for the first time with Clyde Edwards-Helaire. And that's going to be a Chiefs first down as he's got this up to the 45-yard line. Good push up front and that run in between the tackles.
Let's play the leverage game here. Offensive line just got lower than the defensive front, and they were able to get their pads on them and move them backwards and create space for their running back to roam.
And he'll manage to break a tackle and get this forward for a couple. It'll be 2nd down. The numbers for him from a week ago, 17 carries, 72 yards.
And when he went over 1,000 yards last week, you know what it did for their offense? It gave them a true...
The Chiefs with the football as we start the 2nd quarter. As they've got a 2nd and 8 forthcoming. Mahomes going to throw. Looking deep downfield. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
One thing that offensive guys stress when they throw the deep ball, you're just counting on your receiver to find it, adjust before the defensive back can get his head around. In this case, though, the DB matched it move for move and knocked it away.
So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8. A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete. The passing game not in sync here early, and now it's 4th down. Here's Tommy Townsend on to punt. Back deep, Trent Taylor. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. And that'll hit in the end zone. Much too much leg there. That'll be a touchback. Week 13 here in the NFL. First weekend of December. Playoff races definitely coming into focus now. And we got a couple of good ones in prime time tonight. National audience gets a look at the Colts for a second straight weekend. This time they're at Dallas, 7:20 Central Time for that kick. And then Monday night, Saints and Bucks from Tampa. Back to Mixon on second down. And some room to maneuver. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Give him 17 at a Cincinnati first down.
That's pretty much meat and potatoes right there, wasn't it? Just go right at him and let your big horse charge up the middle. Not too fancy there, was it?
Nothing fancy at all, challenging that defense. And on that go-around, the offense won the challenge.
Here we go. 12, 11, MT. 11.
Mixon with a first down carry. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. Here's a pass swung out left to his running back. It'll go as a gain of 4. 3rd and 7 now.
That might feel like a little bit of a lost opportunity there for the offense because the defense brought pressure that time. And sometimes against that, you can get it out to your running back, and it could turn into a big gain downfield. But what a nice job they did getting to him quickly and holding him to a short gain.
This is caught. It's Boyd. And he'll be brought down with a first down as the tackle's made at the Chiefs' 30. Well, that's one way to convert on 3rd down, picking up 26 yards. I think everyone in the stadium saw that big hit coming.
And I, as a former defensive back, have to admit I'm a little disappointed. He actually was able to hold on to the ball. He brought the lumber on that play. Give my man a whole lot of credit for taking the hit and possessing the football.
And picking up the first down.
12. 11.
Throwing now, Burrow on first down. He's got his big tight end. That's Hurst. And he stopped right at the 25 after a gain of 5.
I know sometimes we can get fooled when we watch him make catches, as we just saw him do there, because he really looks like a wide receiver the way he goes about his business.
Yeah, 230, 240 range.
Yeah, not super huge. Maybe not counted on to be that inline point-of-attack blocker that we used to have in the good old days, but you can flex him out. You can run wide receiver routes with him. You can make him a primary target, and that's how he'll shred a defense.
They had to settle for 3 last drive, hoping this second go-around ends in 6. In good position, 1st and 10. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. He's down inside the 10 to the 8, and it comes on a gain of 8. That was the 8th play of the drive, so a somewhat fitting pickup of 8 yards.
Ready?
Second quarter, 2 minutes remain. 3-0 our score. Ball on the 8, 2nd and 2. Again, it's Burrow. Toward the sideline, and he will have the first down as he was able to keep the feet in bounds. And the officials here going to pause the game for a second. Looks like there's an injured Chief on the field.
Here we go.
So as the medical staff takes a look, we'll step aside. Now it's Burrow. That's to Chase. He's got it. Touchdown, Cincinnati. Jamar Chase, his 5th touchdown now on the year, as his guys are able to extend their lead. And down near the goal line here, they're able to throw it in.
And the key word, quick. Quick hitter. Out of his hands fast, into the receiver's hands even faster.
Evan McPherson for the extra point. It's up and good, and that'll increase their lead to 10-zip. So that one a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive. And it was Jamar Chase who finished it off with a touchdown reception. after the touchdown. McPherson on to kick this one away. From the 10. And he won't quite make it to the 25. Kansas City taking the field for their second drive. Nothing for them yet from an offensive standpoint, down 10-zip as they come up 1st and 10. Now Mahomes. And that one off the mark behind him, incomplete.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
Mahomes will try again on 2nd down. He'll find Smith-Schuster. That's complete. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 1st down now, but that clock rolling. Throwing now is Mahomes. He'll get this one to Kelsey. That's complete. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. The Chiefs will try and get to the line quickly. Now it's Mahomes again. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Jesse Bates. And the Bengals are going to have it here at their own 32-yard line.
Here we go.
The Bengals drive about to get going. And with a little under a minute to go, still time to try to put a drive together to add to their lead should they so choose. Meanwhile, Burrow's throw taken in here by Chase. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1.
Here we go.
2nd down and 3. Now Burrow. And he'll go right back to Chase. That's caught again. Now another timeout called for by the offense as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. On 1st and 10, Joe Burrow. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Boyd. And they'll get him down on the other side of midfield.
Here we go.
And before this 2nd down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout. As the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half.
On 1, right?
To the air again, Burrow. And that's caught one more time by Boyd.
Here we go, here we go.
Oh, it's brought down. And remember here, no timeouts left. They got to get to the line quick. So we have reached halftime with our score 10-0 as we send you down to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Things definitely getting interesting around the NFL as we begin the month of December. So let's get right to it. We'll start our tour in the entertainment capital of the world, Las Vegas, Nevada. And it's the Raiders who have the lead in the second quarter. A touchdown pass there for Derek Carr. From there, we head east to check out the Patriots at home in Foxborough. And they were winners in their ball game over the visiting Buffalo Bills. Mac Jones, excellent in the victory, as it's one that pushes his guys 2 games above 500. Finally, let's get you to Baltimore and check on the Ravens at home at M&T Bank Stadium. And they were losers in that one as they fall to the visiting Denver Broncos. K.J. Hamler leading the way with 3 touchdown catches. Time now for a check of the next-gen stats in that first half for KC. And they will need to get this passing game in gear because they did not do much of anything in that first half. And it's why the scoreline is what it is. Meanwhile, for the Bengals, they had a little more success than their counterparts did in the passing game, as evidenced by the numbers there. These 2 teams making their final adjustments for the second half. And to bring it your way, we go back up to Cincinnati and Brandon Gott.
All right, Coach, thanks very much. Fine work as always as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. It'll be the Chiefs football to begin quarter number 3, and they trail here as we are back underway now on EA Sports. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. Here comes the Chiefs offensive unit as they'll have it to begin quarter number 3. Charles, it'll be interesting to see what adjustments this offense made in the locker room. Haven't really been able to get anything going offensively, virtually nothing in the ground attack either, so certainly something has to change here in quarter 3.
And I'm pretty sure their friends from the defensive side of the ball told them exactly that, because those guys, the stop troops, they've been playing pretty well. They've kept them around in this game. Now, they got some time. The running game struggled in the first half. Opposition knows how to focus on defending the pass here. They've got to re-energize that ground game and maybe open things up for a comeback here in this half.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Mahomes now to throw. They'll set up the screen to Edwards-Helaire. And they will stop him short. They get him to the ground at the 27. No first down. A short gain there, just 4. That'll bring up a 4th down.
Good reactions there defensively. That screen was a little slow in developing, and they shut that one down with little gain.
They'll try and run for it. And they're able to get this one across the 35. A curious decision to go for it, but it pays off with a first down. Oh, on the defensive side, that is so deflating.
Not only is it deflating, they've got to look in each other's eyes on that side of the ball and take each other's measure. You've got them backed up, perfect situation, and what they said to you on the other side is, we don't think you can stop us. Went ahead and got it in that position. That should never happen.
Mahomes on the give to Edwards-Helaire. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. And now it looks like they're going to be in the hurry-up. Open man, Smith-Schuster, it's complete. And he will have a Chiefs first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. 1st and 10, it's Edwards-Helaire with it. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. 43 yards on the ground for him so far. All right, I got to ask you, with these RPOs, essentially the quarterback has 3 options, right? So what's different from that versus the triple option that we see the service academies run at the college level?
As a general rule, the triple option at the college level, most things are called outside of the quarterback faking it to the runner and then keeping it himself and maybe having a trail back. What I mean is, in the NFL, that option to throw the football all comes about organically. It's a nap.
And that is caught. Touchdown, Kansas City. Mecole Hardman, 37 yards. And the Chiefs have cut it back within a score. So it took them a little while, Charles, but now they have their first points of the game, and they come here in this third quarter.
And more often than not, Brandon, when that happens, you find yourself down 21, 28 points, and not really with a lot of hope, but with that touchdown, they're right back in this game.
Harrison Butker is on for the extra point. And they're back within a field goal. It's 10-7 now. A 10-play drive that time. And it's capped off with a Kansas City touchdown. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. So here are the Bengals now as they get their first possession of this second half. And maybe some renewed pressure on this unit following the touchdown a moment ago. It's back to a one-score game.
And because of that pressure, because it's now a one-score game, they know this is where you need to slow the momentum change, because otherwise that could overrun your team. You've got to be careful right here.
And he tries to keep the legs churning, but he's going to be stopped behind the line. On 2nd and 11 now. Burrow. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up third down. From the gun on third down is Burrow. He'll drop this one down to Mixon, and he'll be brought down at the 28, and that is well short of the first. 5 yards, not enough, and it'll be fourth down. Here's Kevin Huber now, as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. He punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. Here's Hardman to return. It'll wind up being a net of 41. 9-yard return, 50 on the punt. And it's Chiefs football, 1st and 10. And now here comes Kansas City. Their defense has done the job. Now it's the offense's turn as they've got it 1st and 10. To throw, it's Mahomes. Taking a deep shot here for Hardman. It's caught inside the 25. And he'll be marked down right at the 20-yard line. One thing that we know for sure, do not question the arm strength of Patrick Mahomes, one of the strongest around.
And that's how you start a drive, because you know they had this play in their back pocket, waiting for the right time to unleash it. And boy, did they pick the right opportunity. Unleashed it big time, and that was also a big-time throw.
And you can see in the next-gen stats, that one 62 yards in the air. So the field flips here as they'll go to work at the 20 now on 1st and 10. Operating from the red zone now, Mahomes. And the timing a bit off that time as that one falls to the ground. A good action to this point in the third quarter. Just a 3-point game. 2nd and 10. Here's Edwards-Helaire. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
That 2nd down play call was not to pick up the 1st down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable 3rd down, because they had incompletion on 1st down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They need to make up some ground, and they did.
And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So back now in Cincinnati. In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. Here's Mahomes to throw. He'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And they'll lose yardage here. Knocked back to the 19-yard line. They'll wind up losing 3 here on the play. And it'll be 4th down. And that is no good. Wide to the right. And instead of tying it up, they'll remain down by 3. A fourth quarter miss like that, there is no lonelier feeling than that kicker right now. As we all know, a lot of these games, they come down to special teams. And when that chance comes, you have to perform in order to help your team get over the top. Could have tied it. Instead, they remain down 3. They will throw on 1st down with Burrow. His throw incomplete. His back has been a dependable safety valve all game, so he went back to him when his first read was covered. Just unable to connect, so the play results in no gain. Burrow once again here on 2nd and 10. Over the middle, that's caught by Chase. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down. They kept the receiver in the short field, but that let his quarterback get the ball quickly to him before either guy in double coverage could react. On 3rd down, Burrow. He gets this in the hands of Mixon, and he'll be taken down, but he does have 1st down yardage. 9 yards that time. And that pickup of a 1st down, that's going to leave a mark, because they really needed to stop them there, didn't they? So frustrating. Defensively, you're a play away from getting that football back here, down late. Tough. Now they've got to find a way to create a turnover or takeaway. Otherwise, this one will probably get away from them.
Here we go, here we go.
Under 4 to go now as the clock runs and they come up on 2nd down. Here's Burrow. A quick throw there, going to be batted away and incomplete. I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game. He has percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time. They're passing here. Joe Burrow. He's got Hurst, his tight end. And he is going to have a Bengals 1st down. They needed 4. He doubled that. He wound up getting 8. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on third down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
Now he's going to swing this one out to his running back. And he'll be brought down on the other side of midfield at the 43.
Here we go.
Clock continuing to run. They'll probably wind this all the way before snapping it on second down. Burrow will throw. Pass thrown right back to Joe Mixon. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. The Bengals passing game finding a rhythm. They've got another first. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. And Burrow going to throw again. Boyd's the target, and he has it over the middle. And they're going to get this down to about the 17-yard line here.
These guys are running offense like you drive. The pedal is down, stomped down. How about that? Back-to-back completions. They are rolling.
So much for being conservative and running that football. 3 points separating these two sides with 2 minutes left to go in the fourth. So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. Running left, it's Mixon. And he is going to lose yardage here. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. Second and 12, and you'd have to assume another all-out effort to stop the run is coming. They'll stay on the ground. Mixon again. And he'll get this one down to about the 17. Now a second timeout called for by the defense. That'll leave him with just 1 remaining in this fourth quarter of play.
I like a guy who understands the situation. I also like a guy who you look at him and you say, that looks like a guy who knows the coach is going to say, guess what? You drop this one, you'll be carrying around the training facility for an entire week.
And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. The Chiefs quickly now going to use the last of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. So here we go. Maybe the biggest kick in the game forthcoming. This to swell the lead to 6. McPherson's kick is good. And the lead stretches to 6 here. It's 13-7. So they get the 3, but you wonder now, is that going to be enough?
Excellent question, because when I look at the smiles on that side of the field, they're a little tight, aren't they? If they had scored a touchdown there, those would be big half-moon grins right now because they feel a whole lot better about their position.
And a touchdown in the other direction, all of a sudden they're down. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. Here comes Mahomes and the Chiefs. Down 13-7. 1:40 remaining. How will this thing pan out? We'll watch as they come up on 1st down. Mahomes. And incomplete on the deep ball.
Some coaches like to take the shorter, more reliable yardage, and some, they like to go for the big shot. No fear in risking a deep ball there, but it wasn't enough to get him the completion.
Mahomes. Now they go screen. It's complete. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. Mahomes to throw it. He's got a man. Complete. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. Mahomes. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Limited time left on the clock after that incompletion, so I think both sides are going to savor every second to prepare before the next snap. Because once the ball's in motion, it may be a non-stop push to finish this drive off. Everyone better be on the same page right now, because I think they're going to try and get several plays off in quick succession if they can.
Here's Mahomes. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
I think we were both wondering if we were going to see them try and push it deep downfield, facing a one-possession deficit late, and they certainly didn't disappoint. They gave it an effort.
got to have this one. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Bengals will get the football back. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Burrow down to a knee, and that should be the final act of this one.
Here we go, here we go.
So this one in the win column now for the Cincinnati Bengals, and they were spurred on by a strong performance in that 4th quarter as they held their opponents off the scoreboard.
Everyone wants to pitch a shutout for the entire game, but when you throw one in the 4th quarter, that tells everyone that you're getting stronger and dominance is starting to take over, right? The way that you close, the way that you finish, that gets preached to you from the time you're playing Little League football all the way up through. And they closed them out with a big-time performance down the stretch.
So for Cincinnati, the playoffs may be out of reach, but the win gets them to 4-8 on the year. And they'll get another home date next week as the Browns will come to town. Meanwhile, for Kansas City, this could hurt in the race for home field advantage as they drop to 10-2 on the year. And they'll look to get back on track next week as they travel to Denver to take on the Broncos.